Trust me, I know what it's like to be told you can only see your child in a contact centre. Go into this place with the clock on the wall, the fluorescent lights, the toys lying around. And people watching you. Or they might get an old lady watching you. And nothing wrong with old ladies, of course. We might get an old lady. There'll be old people might be there. And you've got to go to this contact centre and be a dad. I understand it's one of the hardest things to do, you know. You feel judged. You feel like they're looking at you thinking, what kind of person are you? But they're not, you know. They're not judging you. So they get that out there first. You know, you want to go in there, you might want to go, oh, I shouldn't be in there, and you can get angry and get emotional. Well, that's not our job as fellas. We just got to go in there and be dad. Got to do the best we can. We need our daughter or our sons to see us in a certain state, not angry. They'll feel that energy, especially if they're girls. And they know anyway, these people in the contact centre, a lot of them, they'll see the parents coming and go. And like I say, many of them are old. And if they're old, they've been there and they've seen it. You know, you can't underestimate old people. I love speaking to old people. They've been there and they've done it. They've gone through the other side. They don't do it anymore or whatever. And I'm sure that they will look at a person when they come in, a dad or a mum, and think, nah. They can't judge you. They can't even look at you and good and say, no, I think that person's good. But they get the vibe. So I know that feeling, you know, having to do that. Your child needs to see you in a certain state and happy to see him, because that's your time with them. 1 hour, 2 hours. But it's not going to always be like that. You have to go to this place and smile at your child, even though he's hurting. So I've been in their contact centre and tears have been fighting back tears. You know, you just got to smile, wipe the tears and smile. You know, you're not crying. It's just stuff coming out of your eyes. I feel like stuff has come out of my eyes now as I'm just talking about it. But does it mean I'm crying? Nah. You might see me wipe my eyes because there's something coming out, but it ain't crying. Been there a long time, done some crying. I wrote a song about it, you know, mentioning how I'm crying. I think when I wrote it, I was actually crying. Can you imagine? I'm sitting there on my piano going, doo. Then I was crying. I was making a little bit of a noise now and again. That's crying. Anyway, we don't cry for long in any instance. So, you know, just go in there, smile at your kid. I used to cook a roast dinner and put it in the food flask. Broccoli, potatoes. So it's not nice to hear that it's something you do kind of get used to a little bit. You hate it, but you get on with the staff, you talk to them, you play with your kids. You know, you watch them cleaning the toys, you see the kids slobbering over the toys, you know, and when there's other kids in there as well and the other kids are walking around, that is really hard. You want to be on your own with your kid. And then sometimes it's all right. I think even sometimes you might even engage with everyone else in there, you might say, you know, but generally you've got 2 hours, 2 weeks. You better concentrate your attentions to your own child. But yeah, so I know what a lot of you guys are going through, and it ain't fair. And remember this. Yeah, I was saying before my battery, my expiry time went. Yeah, and remember, you're not fighting to see your kid. Although you are, or you're fighting to see your kid. Let's just use the word fighting for now. Remember, you're fighting for your kid to see you. You know, if you can frame it that way, you're fighting for your kid to see you, it will keep you kind of calm in a way. As much angry as you are in the courtrooms, when you're in the courts, if you have to need to talk, you're not going to say, look, I have a right to see my kids. You say the child has a right to see their dad, or the child has a right to see their mum. My kid has a right to see me. I'm fighting for the right for my child to see me. It sounds better and it feels better for you, and it should be heard better. I'm fighting to see my kid. It's not about us, is it, really? It's about the kid. Got to put the kids first all the time, every time. This is my first video I've done on this. I've been through so many years of going through this stuff, and you do come out. I'm talking long time. I'm talking, 7 years in court, plus another 7 years of something else. But I've probably been through all the stuff that's ahead of you. If you're just starting out, particularly if you think, this will be over in a couple of months, I'll start early. That's what I said to myself. I'll get it out of the way now, before she's 1. She was like 3 months, I think, 4 months when it all started, maybe 5 months. Thinking it'll be out of the way in a few months. She won't know anything about it. That was my attitude. Oh dear. Well, that wasn't the case, but again, we can talk more about that later. Right now, it's the contact centres. So if it's your first time you're going to a contact centre, no one's judging you. You go there with a smile, get there on time. Look nice, dress up, not like I am today. My crinkled shirt. I haven't ironed a shirt for 20 odd years. I can't even remember 20 years odd I've used an iron. Anyway, you don't want to hear that. You want to hear about the contact centre. And just get yourself out there. I've been in a situation where I had to see my daughter the next day. And I was running around the night, getting all my bits and bobs. And there's a late night Tesco where I am. And I pulled into this Tesco. I needed a bottle of water. It was 11:30 or something like that. I had to get up early in the morning. I don't even know what else I was doing that day, but I remember what I was preparing for, and that was to see my child the next day. And I pulled up outside this Tesco Express late at night, no one around hardly, ran across the road, ran into there, just grabbed a bottle of water, thought, right, I had some couple of bits to do, just getting all my bits ready for the morning to go to the contact centre. And as I've come running out, there's a clamp on my car. I need this car to get to see my daughter. There's a clamp on it. You can imagine, I just went whoosh. And so there was a security guard there. It was one of these, the days when there was these, they used to call them rogue clampers. I don't know if it was rogue. This is what people used to call them. I think they've been banned now, certain ones. One of those outfits that have been banned now, they're the ones that they can't do it anymore. And he clamped me, and I come out and I said, it was just saying, no, you got to pay. And he said to me, you got to pay your money. If you don't pay it in half an hour, it doubles. So I'd pay it quicker if I was you, because the next day it goes up. And I was fuming, but I didn't know what to do. I had to see my daughter in this contact centre. So I had to think of a plan. You can't get angry about certain things, even though I was fuming and angry inside. You have to have some kind of composure so you can figure out what to do. And I took off, and a good friend of mine, I bumped into him near where I live. I'm telling him a story. I've got to see my daughter. They've clamped me. And he gave me a saw, a hacksaw. He said, use this saw. Now, I'm not giving it advice, of anything untoward to do. These were rogue things. I had to see my daughter. It was a situation that I was in 20 years ago. And I rushed round there with the saw, and all I saw, no pun intended, was my daughter. I had to be there the next day. I just had to be there the next day. I had to drive half an hour. So I started sawing this chain, this clamp on my car, and I'm sawing it, and it's going through, and I'm thinking, I'm going to get to my daughter. Where's my daughter? Security guard came round, and he's pulled up. He went, "Oi!" He shouted at me, and I looked at him, and I carried on sawing, and he went, "You see that camera up there?" He pointed to a camera. There was a big CCTV camera just there. "You see that camera up there?" And I was just saying, "What, that one up there?" I just carried on sawing it, snapped off the lock, placed the lock gently down on the side, got in my car and drove off. I had to do it. It was a drastic measure, I have to admit. I wouldn't advise it. Don't do that, anyone. Don't go cutting them off. Just be careful where you park. And I got to see my daughter the next day. I was on time with the roast dinner and all the little bits that I was bringing her. Anyway, so those contact centres, just take a deep breath, go in there, smile, say hello to the staff. You know, don't come across as a horrible person, because later on I'll tell you something about other places that you're going to be frequenting. It's important to stay calm. They're watching for that. And they can ban you if you're too much. I've heard a little bit of shouting at the corridor at the front once, I think. Again, that was with someone knowing that he shouldn't be there, and he was saying, "Oh, I shouldn't be here." But it's doable. And if you do the right thing along the way, it does work out okay. I can vouch for that. So for now, this is the contact centre. The contact centre vibes, which no one wants to go to. No other chance sometimes, no other way. You just have to do it, much as it hurts. Stay strong. You know, I channel my my pain. I wrote the song, and also wrote a book. I wrote a novel in this, you know, with a lot of pain in it. That's, again, it's about struggle and resilience. It's about that. Called Card Boy. Anyway, stay strong in the contact centre. It's tough, I know. But I'm here for you. You know, leave some. If you want to comment, you want to answer any question, please leave it in the comment. I'll either answer it with a comment or I'll do a video on it. So, you know, if you're going through a lot, you know, I'm here for you. I've been there, done it, and came out okay. You know, came out okay, but not before a lot of heartache, a lot of heartbreak, and on my behalf, a lot of "I told you so." Sometimes you feel like everyone's against you. Everyone. Sometimes you feel like the court's against you. And you look at the barristers of trying to stop you from your child from seeing you, and you're looking at them and you're thinking, do you really know what you're doing? And they're all got this education about the law, but essentially, they are acting as the force behind keeping your kid away from you, or making you see them in a contact centre. Not nice, but we'll talk more about that. So any questions, leave in the comments. Subscribe if you want to, you know, if you're going through it and stuff. And sometimes the right things pop up at the right time, synchronicity. If this video has popped up at the right time, that's synchronicity, you know. So let's just run with that. I'm with you. Power to the parent that can't see their kid when they want to, but it does, and it will get better. See you later.